Today, IGN have put out a deep dive on the Horizon Rush events in Forza Horizon 6, and Playground Games have put out the recommended specs for Forza Horizon 6, and honestly, they're not as bad as I thought they would be. Recommended is an i5 12400F or a Ryzen 5 5600X, which, yeah, I mean, these are nowhere near as bad as I thought they would be. Having a 3060 Ti as recommended as well is like, I mean, that card is a couple years old now, right? Like, it's really not all that bad. Minimum specs, having 16 gigs of RAM that's the only thing here that is really not a red flag, but maybe a small concern for some people. But otherwise, you know, this is not bad at all. And even on those minimum specs, at a low preset, they want you to be able to get 60 FPS at 1080, which is really, really not all that bad. At the extreme end, with extreme ray tracing, this is, again, it's high, but it's not like the absolute highest it could be, right? So 5070 Ti, which thankfully is what I have, and a 7700X, which, again, for like a proper top-end CPU, is not that top-end, right? You know, a lot of people are running 9800X 3Ds and 9950s, etc. So, yeah, all in all, I think the optimization they seem to have done on FH6 seems to be pretty good. My only concern looking at this, though, is it kind of harkens back to the lack of traffic we saw in that first showcase they did, the raw gameplay footage IGN did a couple of weeks ago. I know they said that they turned the traffic down for that video, but this does make me slightly concerned that even with traffic on its like maximum setting, that there might not be all that traffic around. Chat spamming us with Joel's, Jesus Christ. Anyway, also important to note at the top here, ultra-wide monitor support from day one, which I'm sure all of you folks with ultra-wide monitors will be very appreciative of. And also Steam Deck and ROG Ally support on day one as well, which is, again, very cool. It's nice to see that they're going to have robust controller and wheel support. Quite exactly what this means, I'm not sure. It would be nice for them to tell us, like, a list of exactly what especially like wheels are going to be fully supported from day one. But yeah, all in all, pretty good going. Pretty good going. I think most people can be reassured that they'll be able to run Horizon 6 at a decent frame rate on their machines from the off. Which, yeah, I think if some people were worried about you know, doing a pre-order or anything like this, then maybe this will help reassure a few people. But with that said, we can now go into the Rush events. Let's see what we have in store.
The big driving factors behind Rush is if
let me
so that was one of the big driving factors behind Rush is if we're going to put the same amount of passion and effort into a new event type, a new milestone event, we want our players to enjoy these things over and over again.
Okay, this is our first look at it. We're getting we don't really know what Rush events are yet. Hopefully they'll explain it a bit more. Designed to play over and over, okay.
Showcase events have been a part of the identity of Forza Horizon games ever since the 2012 original.
That's the very first showcase ever.
Ford Mustang against its WW2 Warbird namesake. And we've gone up against a legally distinct delta-winged behemoth that looks suspiciously similar to an Avro Vulcan in an Aston Martin of the same name. We've raced against trains, monster trucks, and even hot air balloons. They're brilliant advertisements for the Forza Horizon series brand of racing, eye-catching, and just about as fun to watch as they are to play. They are, however, events that an overwhelming cohort of Forza Horizon players only do once.
Yes.
So we also went back and looked at our telemetry from Forza Horizon 5.
So hang on. So are Rush events designed to be essentially repeatable showcase events? I like the idea, but let's see.
Focusing in on showcase events, and we noticed for the most part our showcases are one and done. So the player gets given a showcase as a reward. They go there and have an amazing 3 minutes, but then they drive off and there's no incentive to return. Now, we do try to remedy this in our live program, where we'll take an existing showcase and we will change the time of day and the weather and the car choice and the music.
Right.
And we find a lot of our players will return and play that event, but once that's done, they drive off and there's no incentive to return again.
The solution, it seems, is Horizon Rush. Horizon Rush is a new event type where we'll race across wild obstacle courses through some of Forza Horizon 6's most interesting locations. Each course will be a timed race against the clock, and the stages are split into a bunch of distinct sectors along the route, so we'll be able to track where we're losing or gaining time. Horizon Rush races can be played solo, in co-op, or in competitive multiplayer.
That's cool. But hang on. They've made a lot of comparisons to showcase events at the start of this, and what they've shown of Rush events so far just looks like tight, twisty events around like circuits. Those are two different things. I assume this is going to be in addition to showcases and not replacing. Surely they wouldn't replace showcase events, right? I mean, they might say further on in this video.
3 Horizon Rush events in total. One in the dockyard in Tokyo City.
Okay,
which
there's only 3 events in total. So it has to be on top of showcases, right?
Visit, another at the ski resort in the Alpine region, and the other...
Hang on, we haven't had a look at this environment yet, have we? That looks cool. And judging by how far you can see into the distance, I mean, I'm trying to get a rough idea of map size, right? I mean, this map looks like it is going to be pretty huge.
On the coast.
So you're telling me...
God, ad time. Christ. Yes, I need to get YouTube Premium or something.
Spaceport. Horizon Rush events will sit alongside Forza Horizon 6's 2 traditional showcase events, as what are known as milestone events, and they'll be...
Oh, sorry, did he say 2 traditional showcase events? 2? I mean, I would anticipate they're probably going to add more post-launch. But hang on, 2 showcases on launch? Okay, that does that worries me a bit, that on release, the game is going to be quite bare bones on the content front, and that they're going to, like, drip feed us content over time. I mean, we knew that was going to happen anyway with DLC and other stuff, but really? 2 showcases at launch? Don't know about that. Appreciate the alert, Blue.
Unlocked as we earn wristbands through the career mode. The team explains these events will be bookended by the Invitational event and the Legend Island event.
So it all started for us back...
Well, we know Legend Island is after we get our gold wristband. So that's endgame stuff.
In concept, where we sat down and we initially asked ourselves, how do we build upon success we've had with showcase events? Now, someone like myself...
Well, you need to do more than 2 for a start.
That's been at Playground for 15 years this year. I've worked on all projects, all DLTs, and I've worked on a lot of showcases in my time as well. I personally know how important they are to Horizon, and we still have 2 incredible showcases in Forza Horizon 6.
He said it again there, 2 showcases in Forza Horizon 6. They still have not said at any point, oh, there's going to be some more. I mean, come on, the first Forza Horizon had 10. You can't use clips of, like, the first Forza... I mean, yes, I know IGN will have done this, but... I mean, Forza Horizon 1 had 10 showcases. Yes, some of them were repeats. We had, like, what? 3 plane showcases, 2 helicopter ones. We had 2 which were just, like, short circuit races. 1 in minis and 1 in... It was like a turbo Peugeot that was an off-road one, but... I mean, look, showcases are one of the biggest aspects of the Forza Horizon series. It shocks me that, at least for now, they've only confirmed 2. And yeah, I hope, Null, on that note, that it will be a case of, hey, you do this event and you'll only get a certain reward if you have X time. But to make it repeatable, that would have to be an average time across the entire player base. Right? Because if it was just like, I don't know, a Gran Turismo license test, where it's like, hey, do this license in 1 minute, 17 seconds to get gold, and then get all gold to win a car, you know, even then, you're not really incentivized to repeat those. You're incentivized to repeat it at the time until you get the time you want, but after that, you never touch them again. I hope that's not what they mean by repeatability here. FH4 is definitely my favourite one in the lineup. It's my first FH after 1. I like the Europe aspect of it. I mean, yeah, I was a big fan of 4. Hope they're going to improve anti-cheat. Yes. Yeah, I really hope so too.
One that watched our Developer Direct asset would have seen the tease for our very own Horizon mech called Chaser Zero, which is awesome. But
yes,
we wanted to build a showcase adjacent event type. And if we were going to do that, we wanted to maintain that showcase DNA. Now,
so hang on. Showcase adjacent, to me, sounds like showcase light. As in, we didn't want to, or didn't have the resources, or whatever it means, to, like, do 10 showcase events. So instead, we'll do, like, less proper full showcase events, and then, like, a few of these in-between things. I don't know, it's not sounding good so far.
When I talk about showcase DNA, I mean high adrenaline events, which include helicopters, planes.
That is literally what they are.
Exciting slow-mo moments, cinematic moments, engaging heroic moments. They are just pure spectacle, and that's what...
I mean, this looks cool, but, like, those arms dragging those, like, shipping containers away, you can tell it's, like, timed so you're never going to hit them, so... This just looks like a circuit time trial. With, like, that one jump at the start where we went slow-mo.
What showcases, and that's what I mean when I say showcase DNA. So for Horizon Rush, we then started to lean into replayability. And if we build these amazing events, we want our players to enjoy them over and over again. And then we asked ourselves, well, what does replayability mean to us? And for us, it was a high score or a better time. It was course mastery, so being easy to play the first time but hard to master.
Okay.
And most importantly for me as a level designer, it was about it being fun. Like if it's not fun, I'm not going to go and return and play it. So that's what replayability meant to us.
So your idea of replayability is just to have a leaderboard. I've not missed anything there, right? That's basically what he said. Like course mastery, yeah, sure. But the long and short of it is, hey, you've got a leaderboard to compare your times. I don't see the vision. Maybe not. I do see in the top corner they have, like, say this is the yard, this is triple jump. So this is individual segments of the larger rush event. But still, like, how incentivized am I really going to be to improve those times? Unless they're giving me a reward, like a meaningful reward for doing that, I still don't see why I'd repeat this over and over again.
In addition to the desire to build something that players would be more inclined to attack over and over, a lot of the inspiration for these Horizon Rush events came from the kinds of custom events that Playground team observed the community making with Horizon's user-generated content tools.
Okay.
In Horizon 5, we've got this incredible UGC tool called Event Lab, which basically lets our players create events of their own imagination, place whatever props they want, and there were a couple of things that kind of align with what we were already thinking for Horizon Rush. So we had this high adrenaline, high stakes, you know, lots of spectacle, kind of obstacle course-esque game.
I mean, let's be honest, how much spectacle have they really shown us here?
Play that we wanted to make, and it was kind of
wow, I get to break some things. These are like fairly average jumps you're doing like the open world. I really hope there's more to this than... I hope that this is just IGN content being bad content. And this isn't just everything they've got to show us for Rush events.
Motivated by what our players were already making for each other. So we see quite a lot of these kind of events where players are making these obstacle courses which are kind of sweeping around, going through all these crazy obstacles. They tend to be quite difficult, the ones the players make for themselves. They're kind of like only up with cars in a way, which is always a kind of a balancing act for our designers, because we don't ever want to lock our players out of content or create a skill check that's going to...
No, but at no point are... I can understand not wanting to lock players out of content. And I know the Horizon series traditionally has been, you know, very pick up and play, very easy, so to speak. You know, it's just about fun and spectacle and just the enjoyment of being able to drive fast cars around. But that doesn't mean to say that we don't want more challenging content, right? Like, having something that is more difficult and that it does present a challenge is not going to be for everyone. But still, if you give us a reason to do it, whether it's a particular prize car or, hey, the top 5% of times on this thing will get a special, you know, car straight from us, that would be enough of an incentive for a lot of people to repeat this content. But they haven't really described enough to us why we would actually want to repeat this stuff, other than, oh, we've got a leaderboard, you can make your time better. Like, really?
You know, block people out of being able to play the game. So we wanted to make something that ticked that kind of, that thing that players are interested in playing, but also was accessible to everyone and enjoyable to everyone. And then another event type that our players created was these maps called No Hesi, or No Hesitation, where it's basically about just getting to the finish line as fast as you can, and they'll place like cars to like weave in and out of and various other obstacles. And that again was a kind of thing that we know there's a fan base for it in our community. They're already kind of making these things for themselves, but they've only got available to them the tool sets that is in Horizon 5. They can't place all of the things that we can place as developers. They don't have the control.
They're saying that as if to say, our players have taken this concept and it's a good concept, but we can do it better. I can assure you, when this game comes out, that what these devs have made will not be as good as what the players have made in FH5. And in fact, if they give, I mean, they will be doing this, if they give the players the same tools to create their own rush events, etc., I can almost guarantee you they're going to be better than what the devs have made. And yes, they want it to be approachable, they want everybody to be able to do these things. But yeah, I'm not liking the sound of this.
The very fine detail control.
And that sucks as somebody who really wants this game to succeed. I am really excited for Horizon 6. You know, I've been looking forward to this game for ages. There's a reason why I'm currently replaying all of the previous Forza Horizon titles and making videos on them in expectation in advance of this game coming out. But
that we're able to make to kind of really pull these events together. So yeah, we were excited that we knew that there was interest from players into making these kind of things, and for us to put our own kind of playground version of these events into the game.
Don't start your day with a...
That last clip was like 3 seconds of nothing. It was just someone scrolling through like an asset library.
6's Dockyard Rush event, dubbed Peer Pressure, is characterised by huge jumps and snaking routes around and over town.
I understand they're only going to show us one event here because they don't want to spoil the other two. But they're really trying to sell us on this peer pressure one, and I don't really see what the hype's about.
Carrying piles of containers.
Huge jumps where, exactly?
A camera chopper hovers dangerously close as the car crashes through smashable billboards, and container handlers...
I mean, even the billboards we're crashing through look boring. Like, what is this? This is the best you could come up with for something exciting for us to jump through. I hope this is a placeholder texture. What is this? Still remember doing a few 1,000-meter jumps in FH4 and 5. Yeah, exactly. Build an event around that. Not this stuff. Like, oh,
through
man.
smashable billboards, and container handlers lift obstacles ahead at
still.
the last second, allowing you to pass under them. It's certainly very showcase adjacent.
Thing, right?
In the footage you're watching, you'll note a rally-bred MG Metro hustling through the stage, although in my preview,
I like the MG
its similarly untamed Group B brother, the Ford RS200, that was the hero vehicle.
I had a moment not long after...
Oh, hang on. So are they incentivizing you to repeat these rush events in different vehicles, instead of it being, hey, there's just one vehicle for this showcase event? I feel like they almost glossed over that. Okay.
We wrapped up the Docks white box. This was last year. I got up from my desk, put my coat on to leave the office, and I walked past 2 separate people on 2 separate teams on 2 separate floors of our building, headphones on, leaning in, pad in hand, and they were staying after hours to beat their own time on the docks because it was a brand new thing at the time. And that was a lovely moment just to see in a development environment people...
Wow, you have 2 competitive developers. Okay. I mean, I would hope you have people on your teams that are these sorts of people, you know, that are excited to play that. Yeah, because it was new. Right, exactly. I mean, anything that is new and novel is exciting the first time you do it. But to create something that you want to repeat over and over again, you really need to give people a strong reason to do that. And I'm not hearing it yet.
Wanting to do better on that course. We've had reviews of the docks where I asked a question last week in a review.
I mean, I will say, if they didn't make a big song and dance about these rush events being super special and all of that, the actual circuit they're showing us here looks fun. It looks fun to drive on. I like the elevation change. I like the jumps. I like the fact that it's being done in this car. It does look fun to do, but it just seems like they're making a bigger deal out of it than what is actually there. This doesn't seem all that dissimilar to like your average race event, at least to me.
I just said to someone, "Oh, what's your best time?" And that just pinballed around the meeting room, and before you knew it, everyone was talking about their best time, which section of the docks.
What was that UI? What
was talking about their best time?
Hang on, that does not look great. They kept this in. I mean, what is that, man? Come on. At the very least, you can have these UI elements appear in front of these flags. I mean, I think it's because the checkpoint is just behind the flags. Whichever developer did that, it's their fault, really. Because the game will be trying to figure out where these, like, overlaid text elements are supposed to be. It just looks bad. Oh, man. Someone at Playground Games or Microsoft signed off on this?
Which section of the...
I mean, in fairness, they signed off on the first video, which was desaturated as hell and in 30 FPS, so anyway.
Docks, they had the best time on, and they were all kind of competing with each other, and that just naturally came out of me saying, "Oh, what's your best time?" So I feel like we've already hit replayability just in a development environment.
Why? Nothing you are saying is really like... Okay, if they are trying to appeal to people that like speedrunning and stuff, or like people that want to set records, I can understand that. But if that's the case, there was nothing really different between this and like your average leaderboards for speed traps or for, specific circuits and stuff. I still don't see what the massive selling point is about this. Unless there's going to be like more dedicated in-game leaderboards or something. I don't know.
And I'm super excited to see our community get hold of it and see what times they can set, because I'm sure they'll do better than us.
Another really nice thing as well is that there's 3 different events, and there's a real even split across the team about which their favourite one is and which one they enjoy the most. They've all got their kind of unique spin, and there isn't like a front runner that is like, okay, that's the best one. Yeah, even within our own.
But saying that, it could just be that they're all equally crap, and none of them are especially good. We won't know until we get to play them ourselves. But there we are.
Own team, everyone's kind of got their favourite.
I mean, in fairness, that first one they've shown us at the docks does look fun. So if the other 2 are similar in style to that, then I think we'll enjoy them.
And is enjoying them all. So yeah, we're pretty pleased with how they've all turned out.
And what does the future of Horizon Rush look like in Forza Horizon 6?
The good thing with our live program is that we're quite able to kind of pivot and make changes as we go. So yeah, I guess we'll be driven a lot by the data. There's certain things that...
No, you won't. No, I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the fact that they're basically saying, hey, if players don't like what we have at day 1, we're going to change our development plan. You should be confident enough that what you're making is good to be like, hey, we have a 6-month, 12-month, 18-month roadmap of us being like, we're going to add X amount of new showcase events. We're going to add this many more Horizon Rush events, rather than hedging your bets and being like, oh, well, we'll see what players think. Like, that just makes me sound like they're not confident in what they've made. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but...
We can and can't do once we've shipped the game in terms of things that we're able to change, things that we're not able to change. But yeah, there was stuff that we were thinking early on in FH5's live program that we ended up pivoting away from, that allowed us to bring in other stuff that was just kind of driven by what our telemetry was telling us, what the community was telling us. So yeah, I would.
But hang on, the overall reception about Forza Horizon 5 is still not bad. Sorry, it's still quite bad. So if you made changes in reaction to community feedback, it didn't necessarily make Forza Horizon 5 better. Because I think most people that have played every entry in the series would say that Horizon 5 is probably their least favourite. So I'm not sure what to make of that.
Rule anything out in terms of future Rush events, but also, yeah, kind of have to see how the players react to them.
That looks pretty cool.
This wraps up our March IGN dive into Forza Horizon 6. But if you missed any of our coverage, be sure to check out our look at the crafting of the world, a close-up on seasons, and our look at the game's new customization options and crazier than ever Forza Edition cars.
Okay. That was an interesting video, but it doesn't... Hang on, I'll just get to the end of this. Okay, very nice slow-mo at the end there. Okay, yeah, they've made a big song and dance about these Horizon Rush events, but that video does not sell me on them. I'm kind of skeptical about how good these events will be now, which is a shame because I was kind of excited to play them, but now I'm sort of less so. I mean, hey, once the game releases, I'm going to be diving head in, so, you know, it could turn out that they're much better than this video has sort of made them out to be, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what to say about that so far. They just look like this weird in-between between like normal race events and showcase events. There doesn't really seem to be a proper reason to replay them. Yeah, I'm hoping we see a bit more about what these Rush events are going to be like pre-release, just to kind of, you know, get a proper base for where my expectations should be. Because all in all, I'm not sure that video really showed those events in their best light. Yeah, as you said, Noel, the only reason to replay them is improve your time. They said nothing about, you know, rewards, prize cars, you know, whether you should be beating set times, whether you should be competing against every other player. Yeah, it's quite bare bones. So, yeah, unsure really what to feel about that. Oh, you've got your Steam back, Pierre. That is very cool. I want to see the comments, actually. Let me drag this over to this side of the screen, just so we could see them. All right. A spaceport 220?
Way up here.
Freaking ads, man. We'll take a look at this in a sec. But yeah, that is not filled me with hope. That is the last IGN exclusive video. I believe from the start of April or around that time, there are, you know, there's going to be more people covering IGN. So IGN had the first like month's worth of exclusives, and then it's going to open up presumably to content creators, other outlets, etc. Spaceport.
Horizon Rush events will sit along, another at the ski resort in the Alpine region and the other on the coast at a spaceport.
A spaceport at the coast. I missed that on first watch. Intriguing to see what that'll look like. Interesting. Okay. Hopefully this time leaderboards won't have cheaters. Yep, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking that. I really hope they do better on the anti-cheat in FH6. It's been a long week, it has. Just want a decent game economy and progress. We haven't had enough information about this, really. We know that, you know, barn finds are coming back. We know that wristbands are coming back. We know that they've talked a bit more about progression, but yeah, we don't know all that much about it. We've got car parks. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be a lot of overwhelmingly positive reaction to this. I'm not really surprised. But anyway, yeah, not overly convinced by what they've shown us so far. But who knows? We know we're going to get some more coverage. You know, that's the end of IGN's exclusives anyway. So hopefully throughout April we'll have some more tidbits of information, some more showcasing of what Horizon 6 has to offer. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I will be doing more reactions to the pre-release content that is out there for Forza Horizon 6, so if you want to see more of that and hear my thoughts, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. I am also doing currently replaying all of the previous Forza Horizon games, and I'm working on retrospective videos for every single one of them, so yeah, keep an eye out for those over on the main channel, which is youtube.com/@Baffo663. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and yeah, hope to see you around here again soon. Oh, and if you want to catch me live, twitch.tv/Baffo663, be sure to follow, do all that lovely stuff. See you guys around. Bye-bye.